This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Barnes and Leslie, we are the Morning X, and we have your Sleaze.
Barnes, did you know, this is very interesting, that Metallica helps young people learn a trade by giving millions in scholarships?
I didn't.
Yeah, well, James Hetfield was on CBS Sunday Morning. They did a feature story on this young woman who learned how to be a commercial truck driver after being one of 9,000 Metallica scholars. He explained his passion to help young people get into trade schools.
Not everyone is built for college, and not everyone needs college. It was very evident during COVID when we weren't able to go out and do our thing. Entertainment, service went, but the plumber, the electrician, the truck driver, the people that needed to help keep America running were there. And thank God for them. My thought is that the next millionaires will be the tradesmen.
That dude is so smart. As much crap as they get, these guys have been selling out stadiums since you were in diapers.
I mean, that is really smart, and I do realize that trade schools are really important. Listen to this. They have an All Within My Hands Foundation. The band has donated over $10 million for scholarships. Also, emergency relief funds, food banks in cities where they play concerts. So, yeah, Metallica giving back.
Millions of dollars. And if they would just set aside maybe $1 million to get Lars some drum lessons so he can stay on time, that'd be fabulous. I'm just kidding. He gets a lot of grief. But no, that band gives back a lot.
Sir Elton has experienced a significant decline in eyesight. We've talked about this, losing all vision in his right eye and partial vision in his left after an eye infection. He described the past 15 months as challenging due to his inability to see, watch, read anything. He says it's devastating. Despite undergoing treatment that has shown some improvement in his left eye, he finds it tough to attend concerts and do things like that. So that's why, one of the reasons why he stepped back from touring. But his husband, David Furnish, expressed optimism that he's going to be able to read Bernie Taupin's lyrics when writing new music, indicating, maybe there is some encouraging news for his vision. That's really sad.
Well, he can get an earpiece, or something. It is sad, but every time when you read the story, you think he's on his deathbed, but then they cut to him, and he's sitting there all dressed in his Versace. He doesn't look like anything's wrong, and he looks like he can see. But when you read it, it sounds like he's dying.
Yeah, the stories are always really troubling. And then there's another person, Dame Judi Dench, revealing her deteriorating ability to recognize people due to her progressing macular degeneration, a condition that affects the retina. She was talking to Ian McClellan in an interview in the UK. She shared that she could only make out outlines and can no longer read or watch television. That is devastating for someone like Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah, don't take TV away from me.
Yeah, she now relies on friends to repeatedly recite her lines to her, I guess when she's doing movies or acting. That is really devastating.
That is sad.
I'll tell you who's been in the news a lot is Allison Mack. Remember from Smallville?
Talk about diving deep. We were so into that Nexium stuff.
So into it. She went to prison. I don't know how long she was in prison. I think she went...
Just a few.
She went in 2020 or 2021, but she did go into prison for her role in that whole Nexium sex cult. She's now speaking out about what was it really like being in prison.
And a lot of people think of prison and they think of either Orange is the New Black, which is something called camp,
Right.
Which is not where I was. I was inside the fence. So they cuffed us anytime we went outside the fence and there was barbed wire, and we had something called controlled movement where you can only move every hour in one direction on the compound and they lock the doors behind you. But I also wasn't in maximum security. There were no locks on our actual door.
You weren't around murderers.
I was around murderers.
Around murderers.
Yeah. But I was in a federal institution because it was a federal crime. And federal institutions are notoriously quote unquote nicer. There's something in prison called politicking. And politicking is very racially motivated, and it involves gangs. So there's a lot of social hierarchy and rules and violence and things like that to keep those rules in place. There isn't really that in the federal system.
She's getting a lot of criticism doing a lot of these video podcasts because she looks like she's lying. Like certain things she's saying, the body language screams that she's lying.
Okay, I know that you have watched this, and now I'm like all in. 4 episodes. Sean Combs, The Reckoning, just dropped on Netflix. Executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
He lets you know that with a 275 size font at the end. That's like the biggest finger raise in the world. I'm 2 of the 4. And the minute that thing dropped, I was on it. It is mind-blowing how much stuff you forget. I forgot that Tupac got shot in Atlanta, that when the whole East-West thing really started was from that shooting here in the early 90s. I totally forgot about that.
Well, the thing that I didn't realize, because I thought it was 50 Cent that was following him around, which he was, but apparently Diddy had been working on a documentary on himself all along.
Yeah, 50 scooped that up real quick. Somebody got paid because Diddy's in jail and all these transactions. Everybody has turned on him, and they're all talking.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
Puffy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean Combs, all of these reincarnations, all those name changes are attached to really bad deeds.
Everything in life, you're going to have people that are bad and people that are good. You have to choose your side.
Now there's a cease and desist to Netflix from Diddy's lawyers because that one line there in the trailer, we need to find someone who will work with us who has worked in the dirtiest of dirty businesses. We are losing. Apparently, that is stolen footage because that is footage from Diddy himself.
Yeah, that's the videographer that was following. It opens with that. It opens with a bunch of scenes like that. And you can clearly, this is 6 or 7 days before being arrested, you can see the despair in his face and the panic and the urgency. It's really raw to watch. It's like a phone is just propped up on the table and he's talking with his lawyers. But man, 50 Cent comes with damage in this one, and he doesn't care.
Barnes, I have another feel-good movie for you, because I know you love those holiday feel-good movies. This is The Thing with Feathers, a film that explores loss and grief with Benedict Cumberbatch. The synopsis describes a father, Cumberbatch, who must raise his 2 young sons after the unexpected death of his wife. As his life unravels, he is confronted by Crow, an unwelcome presence that embodies his grief, challenging him in unexpected ways.
Why do you lift me up with some good prison holiday stuff, then you take me down and you Cumberbatch me?
It's just the 3 of us. They miss their mum.
I can't imagine how you must be feeling.
Ah, there he is.
Dad told stories. The stories changed when Dad changed.
You're such a cliche. English widower allowed his kingdom to go to ruin and abandoned his 2 sons.
I heard him.
Hello, boys.
It's not real.
Does Daddy need a cuddle?
You're not real!
This is awful. Middle-aged, middle-class guardian reading beard-stroking farmers market widow music.
Yeah.
I won't leave until you don't need me anymore.
Do your worst.
No, I intend to do my best.
I mean, just the title alone, The Thing with Feathers. It's in theaters now. It just dropped, so it's the new one from Benedict Cumberbatch. That is your Celebrity Sleaze.
Hey, y'all, it's Lainey Wilson. St. Jude gives kids with cancer the chance they deserve. Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food. But we can't help these kids without you.
This holiday, help St. Jude find more cures for more children. Donate now at musicgives.org.